Have you ever watched a billionaire shrug off a stock market crash while the rest of us panic over a $100 unexpected expense? It seems almost unfair, right? The truth is, it's not just about having money, it's about how they think about it. Rich people don't freak out because they've trained their brains, habits, and emotions to handle financial stress in a way most of us never even consider. Today, I'm going to take you inside that mindset, break down the psychology behind their calm, and show you how to start training your brain the same way. Let's start with the obvious. Most of us are wired for survival, not wealth. When a bill comes in or an investment drops, the amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for fear and threat detection, lights up. Adrenaline surges, and suddenly your brain is screaming, "Sell, panic, protect yourself." That's survival mode, and it worked fine when humans faced saber-toothed tigers, but in the modern financial world, it's often counterproductive. Now contrast that with someone like Warren Buffett. During the 2008 financial crisis, the stock market was tanking, banks were failing, and panic was everywhere. Yet Buffett calmly invested billions. Why? Because he sees short-term losses as temporary, and opportunities as long-term potential. His brain doesn't view money as a threat, it views it as a tool for growth. This isn't just an accident of temperament. Behavioral finance teaches us that emotional regulation is a skill, not a trait. Rich people practice it deliberately. They separate emotions from decisions, they diversify so losses never feel catastrophic, and they expose themselves to controlled financial stress to train their response. Think of it like mental push-ups for your financial resilience. Let's dive deeper. One core principle is loss aversion. The idea that losing $100 feels far worse than gaining $100 feels good. Most people overreact to losses because their brain is wired this way. Rich people, however, reframe losses as part of a bigger picture. Imagine two scenarios. You lose $500 on a stock, or you miss a $500 investment opportunity. Most people obsess over the loss, while wealthy individuals calculate the net impact, seeing both sides clearly. Their prefrontal cortex, the logical decision-making part of the brain, overrides the amygdala's panic. Here's a story. A young tech entrepreneur, let's call him Alex, built a startup that failed overnight. Most people would be devastated, panic, or even give up. Alex, however, used the experience as a learning opportunity. He broke down what went wrong, invested in himself, and launched again, this time successfully. The difference? He approached failure with calm curiosity rather than emotional panic. That mindset is the same one rich people use with their money. Treat losses as data, not disasters. Another key idea is mental accounting. Wealthy people organize money in categories that reduce emotional stress. They don't see every dollar as a personal threat. They have funds allocated for expenses, investments, emergencies, and growth. When one area loses, it doesn't trigger a brain-wide panic. It's just one account in the system. Most of us lump everything together. Bills, savings, investments. One loss feels like a catastrophe because it touches our entire mental money map. And then there's delayed gratification. Rich people train their dopamine system to prioritize long-term reward over short-term comfort. While most people spend impulsively for instant pleasure, a new gadget, a night out, wealthy individuals focus on the bigger payoff: investments, skill building, or strategic purchases. Dopamine isn't about avoiding spending. It's about redirecting the reward system to value progress and growth rather than immediate relief. Here's a practical exercise. Imagine you have $1,000 in your checking account. Instead of buying something to feel instant gratification, visualize investing that $1,000 in a way that grows over time. Picture the money compounding. Imagine the sense of freedom that comes from building wealth. This mental exercise begins rewiring your dopamine response. Over weeks, your brain starts rewarding long-term thinking, not impulsive spending. Let's talk about controlled exposure to financial stress. Rich people don't shield themselves from discomfort. They face it in small doses to strengthen their mindset. Think simulated losses, small speculative investments, or challenging budget exercises. By repeatedly experiencing minor stress and responding calmly, their brain learns, I can handle this. When a real crisis hits, their nervous system barely reacts. It's training, not luck. Another story: Lisa, a high-earning professional, lost a sizable investment due to a market crash. Instead of panicking, she reviewed her portfolio, diversified, and even saw an opportunity to buy undervalued assets. The key? Emotional detachment and preparation. Her reaction wasn't innate, it was the result of habits and deliberate mindset practice. The same habits that keep the wealthy calm. Here's where most people go wrong. We try to suppress emotions rather than train them. Rich people don't ignore fear. They acknowledge it, analyze it, and act intentionally. You can do the same by journaling every financial decision. Know how you feel, what the risk is, and what the long-term plan looks like. This reflective practice strengthens the prefrontal cortex and reduces amygdala hijacks. Let's expand this to real-world behavioral patterns. Studies show that people who obsessively check their balances or react to every market fluctuation experience chronic stress, higher cortisol, and poorer financial outcomes. Wealthy individuals avoid this by creating routines, automated investing, scheduled reviews, and clear financial frameworks. By removing emotional triggers, they ensure decisions are based on logic, not panic. Here's another tip. Practice scenario planning. Rich people mentally rehearse worst-case and best-case scenarios. If the market crashes, if a business fails, or if an unexpected expense arises. They've already imagined it and decided on rational actions. When the situation occurs, their brain already knows how to respond calmly. Try this yourself. Write down potential financial challenges and plan step-by-step responses. This exercise reduces anxiety and builds confidence. Finally, mindset isn't just about avoiding panic. It's about cultivating financial curiosity and calm confidence. When you see money as a tool to solve problems rather than a threat, your brain stops reacting with fear. You start making deliberate choices, embracing opportunities, and seeing temporary setbacks as small bumps on a long-term path to wealth. So what can you take away today? Start by separating emotions from decisions. Practice delayed gratification. Reframe losses as opportunities. Expose yourself to controlled financial stress. And plan for scenarios in advance. Over time, your brain will start responding like the wealthy do. Calmly, strategically, and with focus on the bigger picture. I'm Brandon Invests, and if this helped you understand the psychology of finance and start training your brain to stay calm under pressure, subscribe for more.